Are you sick of setting financial goals every single year? And then by March, you've already fallen off? Setting goals is not a part of the process that you really can afford to skip. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel. First, I want to ask you to hit that like or subscribe button. So let's get into it. Let me explain to you first why setting goals are very important. If you jump into a car and you just drive around aimlessly, you don't have any direction, you don't have a final destination, you could drive forever. You have to give yourself some type of set destination, because how else do you know which streets, which turns, how do you know which streets to take? How do you know exactly where you are going or where you should go? You have to give yourself GPS. I'll give you another example. When you have a job, you typically have a supervisor, a manager, a boss, or somebody who's in charge. And typically they'll tell you to do things that are in your job description that you fully are supposed to do. But you don't always want to do all of those things. You don't always want to do everything, but you want to keep the job, or that you need the job as a part of your plan at that current moment. So you do them. Your money is the same way, except you're the boss. You're the CEO. Your money goes where you tell it to go. When you go buy that outfit, or you buy those clothes, or you buy those trips, you told your money to go do that. When you signed up for that mortgage, or you signed up for those credit cards and you got to swiping your life away, you were essentially giving out, you was delegating. You was out there delegating, making boss moves, but you didn't really know it. So the reality is, you decide where your money should go because you are the CEO of your wallet. That's why setting goals is very important, because you have to set the goals that you're working towards. If you're one of those people who you're always looking for like-minded individuals, or you're always looking for other people doing the same things that you're doing, or other people in the place that you want to be, setting goals is going to help you get there, because that's going to help you understand exactly who those people are. If I know I want to buy a house, or I know I want to be a professional speaker, and I'm looking to be on stages all over the world, it's going to be very helpful for me to know what kind of speaking I want to do, because then I can find other speakers in that same niche. Then I can find others who have been very successful. I can follow them on social media, and I'll be more motivated to do it. So that's another reason that setting goals is crucial. And lastly, you need a way to stay motivated throughout this process, because I keep it real. It's not something that's going to look like this. And I know I say that a lot, but it is so true. So I have to emphasize it. You're going to need something to keep you focused and keep you motivated during those times where you like, you know what? Maybe I need to give up on this goal, because there are going to be times that you feel that way. And that's okay. That's a reality. That's what this journey looks like. So that's actually a sign that you're doing well, because you always get the struggle and a storm before the sunshine. Okay. Now, even personally myself, I'm a goal person. Okay. So let me even go a little further. Every year I create a vision board. And I do a vision board party for all of my students. And we do a vision board, and I charge them like $10 or something, because typically they're already my students. So I charge them like $10 to attend, because I set it up. We do games, and I have a goal setting workshop that they get included in there. Of course, it's packed with value, but it's a reason for that, because that has helped me. I am very adamant about writing down my goals, looking at them continuously, and checking and monitoring my ability to achieve them so that I can make adjustments. It's not so I can beat myself up. It's not so I can criticize myself because I haven't gotten somewhere that I should have been or haven't been. It's not for that reason. It's so I can track and monitor. I can make adjustments. Sometimes your goals are going to change in the process. That's just how it is. But the benefit of having a set destination, it gives your money a purpose. It gives your financial journey a purpose. You see? You following me? You following me? Okay, let's get down to it. I'm going to give you We're going to do 4 steps to help you understand how you can set goals and actually achieve them. And if you're not doing any one of these steps, drop it down in the comments to let me know which one of these steps you are skipping. Okay. So the first step is going to be identifying your priorities, because we got to know what's important and what needs to be accomplished first. This is not something that you might be able to do in your mind. It might really take you to write these goals down. And once you write down the things you want to do, which once you do that, sometimes you find out your goals are overlapping. Real talk. So what you're going to do is write down the goals you want to achieve and then figure out which ones are priority that you're going to finish first. Which one is a priority? Okay, this one I got till this time to do. Like, I cannot do this one next. That's what you're going to do. The second thing you want to do is set SMART goals. And you've probably heard about SMART goals plenty of times before, but we're still going to break it down for you again. SMART goals means, and it's an acronym, and the different letters in the word have different meanings, but it all pertains to how you can set great goals. SMART, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And I'm gonna do better than that, because I'm gonna give you an example. Let's just say I want to save $5,000 in a year. That might sound like a lot of money to try to save, especially given and depending on what your budget looks like. So, okay, I'm like, okay, how am I going to save this $5,000? Okay, I'm just going to start taking $50 out of each paycheck till I reach $5,000. But how do I know how many paychecks it's going to take to get there? I have no clue. So that's why you have to work to set SMART goals. You have to be very specific. You have to say, okay, I'm saving $5,000 in a year. Okay, so how much would that be in a month? That's the kind of process you want to take. But look what I gave myself when I said I'm saving $5,000 in a year. I told myself how long I have to do it. So it was time bound and measurable, because I can measure how much I have saved while within that 12 months. Okay. Then it's achievable, because $5,000 is attainable. You can absolutely save $5,000 in a month. I know you can. And it's something that's very specific. I know how much money I need to save, and I know how long I have to save it. So that's a great example of setting SMART goals. I'm going to break it down even further. Give me a couple minutes. Now, once you start to set those SMART goals and you know exactly what you're trying to do and how long you have to do it, now you can start creating a plan. Because what do I have to do to save $5,000? Well, first of all, you're going to need a budget, because you have to know how much money you even have in your current budget to save, and find the money in your current account and find the money in your current budget so you can save this $5,000. So now that's going to help you create a plan, which is going to be your third step to creating successful financial goals. And then the last step is going to be tracking your progress. Tracking your progress, making sure you are checking back, looking back. Like I told you, I go back and look at, sometimes I have to change my goals, because as I achieve one, I learned something and realized the other goal that I was trying to achieve was not what I needed to do. Sometimes you meet people along the journey that also help you see that what you were looking for is not really what you wanted. So those are my 4 steps that I'm going to give you that helps you achieve financial goals. Now, I'm going to give you another example. Let's just say I want to raise my credit score by 100 points. And I say, okay, by the end of 2024, I want to raise my credit score by 100 points. Well, I just gave myself like 3 steps that I need to do. So when you're sitting here and you're not clear on how to go about achieving your financial goals, and you're not clear on what do you need to do and how do you do it, set a specific goal. Because by me saying I want to raise my credit score by $100, I already know, okay, first of all, I need to know raise my credit score by 100 points. That told me already I need to know how much my credit score is now. And then now I know, start to take the steps to improve your credit score. And there's plenty of information out there to help you how to start that process. If you still feel unclear about that, hire a professional to help you. Unfortunately, I'm not that professional. I don't help with credit repair. I can educate you on credit though. I can educate you on the process and what credit looks like and how to understand credit, but I don't do credit repair, just to be clear. But that gave me how many steps that I know already I need to accomplish so that I can raise this score. And going further, when we get to maybe September, And I'm like, ooh, I still need to raise my score 25 more points. I know that because I gave myself a specific time that I wanted to accomplish it. And you also have to understand that sometimes you might not accomplish it in that set time. It might be past that time. It might be before that time. But it's important to set that timeline so that you can kind of gauge yourself as you move along. And it kind of put a little fire under you, because sometimes we need a little motivation. Like, keeping it real, sometimes it's hard for you to just go aimlessly. My students have told me that before. If they don't have a set place that they're going, it's like, I'm not motivated to do it. Why am I doing this? Okay. Now, lastly, before I get out of here, is I'm going to give you some additional tips and tricks. So, for one, I always suggest that individuals should do micro goals. Having micro goals will help you so that your goal doesn't seem as big. It doesn't seem as overwhelming. It doesn't seem like unachievable. It seems like, oh, okay, I can definitely do this. So let's just take that same $5,000 example. Like I said I was going to break it down a little bit further. Let's talk about it. So I'm going to put a graphic up here so you can see what this looks like visually while I describe it. So let's just say, like I said, I wanted to save $5,000 in a year. Okay, how much do I need to save monthly? So if I'm going to save $5,000 in a year, I need to save $416 every month. Okay, so let's just say I get paid bi-weekly and I want to save some out of each paycheck. Well, I know I need $192.31 saved out of every paycheck, and I'll have my $5,000 in that year. If I get paid weekly, okay, I need to save $96.15. And I rounded all of these up by a penny, just so you know. And then lastly, let's just say I'm a barber or a hairstylist or somebody who get that green every day, but you still need to find a way to break it down for you. The daily amount is going to be $13.70. Now, why is this important? This is important because let's just say I have an off day, because who's trying to work 7 days a week? If I have an off day, I know the day before I can save a day and a half, and the day after I can save a day and a half. And even though I had an off day, I'm still on track to set my goal. You see where I'm going with this? I told y'all, I got y'all. I got you covered. So that's my first step. My second step is going to be give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace throughout this process, because there's going to be times where maybe you weren't able to save because something came up. There are going to be times where maybe you had to dip into your savings and pull out of it. So, you have to kind of backtrack and recoup those funds. There's going to be times where you feel like giving up. So you have to give yourself grace in those moments, because you don't want to get completely, utterly discouraged. You want to give yourself grace in those moments because nobody said you were bionic. Nobody is saying you're required to be bionic to achieve financial stability. At the end of the day, you are a human, and humans are not perfect. Practice makes progress, because nobody is perfect. So you have to give yourself grace. You have to be forgiving in yourself and accept the fact that you are going to have ups and downs and ebbs and flows. Now, my next one is that I want you to practice gratitude. And you're practicing gratitude because that helps you see where you've come. That helps you see your testimony, even when you're feeling like you're supposed to be somewhere and you're not there yet, or you're feeling like you haven't achieved all the goals that you think you're supposed to achieve, or you're feeling like, oh my God, how am I supposed to do this? I have this many months left and I still haven't made it this far. But where were you 2 years ago? Where were you 5 years ago? Okay, you see where I'm going? Take up space, sis. Plain and simple. Take up space. Give yourself the thanks, the appreciation, the one that you want everybody else to give you. Because let's keep it real. If you don't appreciate yourself and you don't show gratitude for yourself and you don't honor yourself, you can't really seriously expect other people to, right? I hope you know that. It's going to be really hard if you are setting the example of not giving yourself any gratitude and grace, and you're setting the example of not putting yourself first and not making yourself a priority. It's clearly going to tell everybody else that that's the standard. You're clearly giving the SOP. I'm just saying, I'm just here to deliver the message. Okay. So definitely hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications when I'm coming out with new videos, and talk to me. Share some ways that you have set financial goals that has been helpful for you. Personal finance is personal. So different people are going to have different examples, tips, trips, experiences that's going to help others. And that's why it's important to share. Go be wonderful. And I'll see you next time.